专业回收旧手机。
野鸡，宝宝，快尿裤裤了，去早早了。哎呀，哎呀呀呀，嘿嘿嘿，哎呀呀，嘿嘿嘿。
Hey everyone, I'm XiaoWu. Welcome back to my channel. Do you ever wonder how an unemployed dad like me spends a whole day taking our baby for his routine health checkup? And what was it like, bringing our little guy back to the place where he was born, now that he's almost 7 months old? Stick around, hit that subscribe button right now, and come along with me through the camera, as we experience this day together. Good morning. This little guy right here is my son. His nickname is 567, and he's almost 7 months old now. Every morning, the first thing my wife does after getting up is take care of him. Today, we're taking this little adventurer for his well baby checkup, to see how his growth and development are going, and hopefully get his next round of vaccines too. Whenever we go out with him, we have to pack his bag in advance, because he might want milk at any moment, or he might decide to make a stinky diaper. You really have to be prepared for anything. Today, my mom doesn't have much farm work at home, so she said she'd come along with us to the city and do some shopping.
啊，乐梯要做宝座啦！躺下来。
We're heading to the city hospital for baby's health check, because the facilities there are more advanced and they have better medical resources. We don't usually go into the city, it's about 35 kilometers away, and takes around an hour by car. The county town is much closer, only 22 kilometers from home. Normally, we take baby to the nearby county town for his vaccines, but this time, since he's almost 7 months old, we felt it was time for a full growth and development assessment. His last one was when he was almost 4 months old. Time really flies. 3 months passed very quickly. It's early morning right now, which means it's market day in our small town. The streets are busy with people coming and going. We left home pretty early today, so we didn't make breakfast at home. We're planning to grab something at the market. This is the breakfast spot my mom often visits. Their steamed buns are really delicious and super affordable. The pork-filled ones are about 20 cents each, and the vegetarian ones are around 15 cents each. In most places in China, people start their day with a few steamed buns and a hot cup of soy milk. It warms your stomach and gives you energy to kick off a great day. Since the vegetables at the town market are freshest in the morning, my mom decided to buy the ingredients for tonight's dinner now. She usually rides her electric bike here every couple of days to pick up supplies, so she's very familiar with this place. The guy at this stall is showing everyone how great his cleavers are, but from my experience, only the one he's demonstrating with is probably the really good one. After finishing the shopping, we ate our breakfast in the car. 567 always gets so happy whenever we take him out in the car. He's such an active baby, he loves walking around and exploring. If he has to stay in one place too long, he starts fussing. So today is definitely a happy day for him. Alright, after that simple breakfast, it's time to hit the road. You'll notice the road we're taking today looks very new, with brand new streetlights on both sides. This road was actually built and opened only in the last 3 years. The purpose was to connect all the local scenic spots in our area. The local government is developing the tourism industry, linking up multiple natural scenic areas, so that visitors from outside can travel between the attractions more easily. That's why this road doesn't look like the old traditional ones lined with houses. As you drive along, everywhere you look is beautiful scenery. We really do have many well-known attractions here, some of which are even national-level natural scenic areas. If you subscribe to my channel, maybe in future videos, I'll take you to explore those beautiful places. For now, just sit back and enjoy the scenery along the way. When the green scenery ahead starts turning into more and more high-rise buildings, you know we've left the countryside and arrived in the city. I think in many not-so-big cities in China right now, the number of high-rise buildings is quite exaggerated, they look like concrete forests. A lot of these buildings were completed years ago but remain empty and unsold. Most of them were built 5 or 6 years ago, when everyone was crazy about buying property. People would buy even if they didn't plan to live there, because they believed prices would keep rising. But in recent years, China's economy has slowed down, and housing prices have dropped sharply. A lot of people's savings that went into homes lost more than half their value almost overnight. A few years ago, when I still had a job, I also thought about getting a loan to buy an apartment in the city. Back then, prices were skyrocketing and everyone thought they would go even higher. I'm really glad I didn't make that decision. If I had taken out a big bank loan to buy a place, life would be extremely difficult for me now that I'm unemployed. I wouldn't be able to keep up with the payments, and I'd be living in constant anxiety.
我说先买一辆便宜的，二手卖掉。凉得很，我冷。
Finally, we've arrived at our destination. This is the exact hospital where baby 567 was born. I'm very familiar with this place, because I stayed here with my wife for a whole week when he was born, waiting for our little guy to arrive safely. First, we measured baby 567's height and weight.
哟，
什么情况？一来就躺了。10.9，baby 的体重9.2。你是个大头啊！谢谢给你。
He's now 69.3 centimeters tall, and weighs 9.2 kilograms. The doctor said his physical development is quite good. Next, the doctor did a more detailed checkup on his overall condition. We also asked for advice about his eczema and feeding. The doctor asked if we've started giving him any solid foods, since he's over 6 months old. We told her we've begun with rice cereal, blueberries, and bananas. She suggested we can also try apple puree, and reminded us not to forget vitamin A and vitamin D supplements. Vitamin D can be produced through sunlight exposure, which helps with calcium absorption. But the weather is still a bit cool, and when kids wear long sleeves, they don't get enough sun to make vitamin D, so extra supplements are needed. Then another doctor checked 567's motor skills with some simple grasping tests.
对对。
We actually do a lot of these activities with him at home, but the main reason for coming here is to test whether he's lacking any essential elements, something we can't check ourselves.
有喽，恭喜你啊！对，有一次来了。
So we had 5, 6, 7 do a fingertip blood test. After that came the vision check, which was quick. Because 5, 6, 7 has had a slight cold these past few days, runny nose and sneezing, the doctor advised us not to get the vaccine today. We'll wait until he's fully recovered. Next, we decided to go somewhere special, to revisit the place where baby 5, 6, 7 was born. This is the delivery room where 5, 6, 7 came into the world. You can see a family waiting anxiously outside. The man's wife is probably inside giving birth. Even though it's been almost 7 months, I still clearly remember the scene here. On the night my wife went into the delivery room, I was standing outside just like this man, feeling so anxious. My wife's parents and my parents were waiting with me. We didn't relax until the doctor finally told us that mother and baby were both safe. After the birth, my wife stayed in the hospital ward for a week for observation. This is the area where we stayed. You can see it's pretty quiet here now. Especially in recent years, China's birth rate has dropped sharply. Many young people graduate from university but can't find jobs, and even those who had jobs are facing widespread unemployment. Because of economic pressure, most people choose not to have children or even decide not to get married and stay single. 7 or 8 years ago, this place would have been bustling every day. But now, with the economic slowdown in China, the number of people here has also decreased significantly. Since becoming unemployed, I've been trying hard to find work, but the results haven't been great. Things are different now. I send out resumes and only get a few responses here and there. Fortunately, with help from a university classmate, I can do some freelance work online using my skills to earn a bit of money for living expenses. Plus, I saved some money from the years I worked before, so our life isn't too difficult. Baby 5, 6, 7's feeding schedule is irregular, so it's time to make him some formula again. This is just part of our routine when we're out. While he's drinking his milk, let me show you around a city-level hospital in China. Doesn't it look quite luxurious? In fact, hospitals are often one of the places that make the most money in China. Have you heard that in these hospitals, no matter how urgent your condition is, they usually won't treat you until you've paid first? That's the reality here. If you find that hard to believe, just Google it and you'll understand. So, in your country, would this kind of situation happen? Leave your answers in the comments below. I'd love to hear. The checkup report came out quickly, and all the indicators look good, so we can head home. But it's already noon now, so we decided to have lunch at a nearby mall before going back.
觉了吧？睡觉了，5点前。
佳佳的，嗨嗨嗨，嗨呀嗨呀嗨嗨嗨呀，嗨嗨嗨嗨呀。
来过一次，5点前，是吧？
又忘记。
呀？
Baby 567 seems really curious about new things. His little head keeps turning left and right, looking at everything. That's true, he spends most of his time at home in the countryside, so whenever he comes to the city and sees crowds of people, he gets very interested.
看那个，看那个车，那车，你坐那个车吧，啊？
We walked around the mall for a while, and finally decided to eat at this place that serves Cantonese clay pot rice. I used to work in Shenzhen, Guangdong for 2 years. To be honest, I didn't like the hot and humid weather there, but I do miss a lot of the delicious food, including Cantonese clay pot rice. The decoration here has a real Guangdong restaurant vibe. It looks nice.
This
567 also found his seat. But he's already had his lunch, so now it's nap time for him. In our area, most people love spicy food, so restaurants usually provide small spicy side dishes. Our food finally arrived and it looks pretty good. It's not cheap though, about $4 per person. But since we only eat out occasionally, it's acceptable. I think I should learn how to make some Cantonese dishes myself. That way I can enjoy them without spending much. After lunch, we got ready to head home. In the mall, we passed by a pet cat stall. These cats all looked really cute. Before 567 was born, my wife and I actually planned to adopt a cat. But after having baby 567, we realized we really don't have that much energy anymore. My wife loves cats, so maybe when 567 gets a bit older, we might consider getting one. On the way back, we took the same road, and you'll see even more beautiful scenery. Do you see that mountain ahead that looks like a giant wall? That's one of our local famous attractions. It's really impressive from here. This is a rest station for travelers and vehicles, and it also serves as a viewing platform. The scenery here is fantastic. Some people are camping on the lawn over there. This place is actually great for camping, sitting in nature, looking at the distant mountains, and enjoying a cup of tea would be so relaxing. But the sun is quite strong today and it's a bit hot. Maybe next time when the weather is cooler, I'll bring my tent and camp here.
过来玩。
你看别人其实。
就这里风景。这里。
My favorite part of the scenery along this road is this section. The highway winds through the mountains, supported by elevated bridges, so it feels like your car is flying through the air among the peaks. The experience is amazing. We've reached another viewing platform and decided to get out for a walk. It's pretty quiet right now because it's not holiday season. Only during holidays do you see lots of cars parked here, with people stopping to enjoy the views on their way to the attractions. The scenery here is even better. You can overlook the villages and houses at the foot of the mountain, and the view is really wide and open. I think this spot is even more suitable for camping. I heard that at night there's a night market here with lots of people setting up food stalls, but I haven't come here in the evening yet. Maybe next time I'll check it out. When the weather gets nicer, I can also bring my tent and camp here. We're back in our small town. Since we don't come here every day and there aren't any shops near our house, we always stock up on supplies when we pass by.
去哪？走走走，走走走走走。
Once we got home, my wife asked me to open and check the delivery package. This is a bath seat we bought for $567. This is a pineapple my wife ordered online, but when we opened it, it doesn't seem very ripe yet.
这个怎么这么轻啊？
I quietly asked the seller, and they said to let it sit for a few days until it turns more yellow, then it'll be sweeter. The first thing baby 567 wanted when we got home was milk. He must have been really hungry. He held the bottle himself and kept drinking until there was almost nothing left, still sucking hard. Okay, if you still want more, I'll have to give you a top-up. After dinner, I looked up and noticed a problem. The waterproofing under the balcony on the top floor is leaking badly. It looks like I need to do something about it. You see, the original waterproof material has peeled off, after years of rainwater buildup and constant sun exposure, so it no longer works. I'll need to buy some materials online to fix it. So I went up to the balcony to measure the edge lengths, and sent the info to the seller, so they can calculate how much material I need.
你妈的逼！
你怎么很肯定自己妈妈都骂呀？
哎呦！一起。
After spending the whole day outside, it's time to give this little guy a bath. He sat in his new bath seat that just arrived today, but he still seems a bit scared. He was gripping the edge of the tub tightly the whole time.
着急了，快点擦擦。
紧张个屁呀！
摸墙壁都摸去了。好了，洗好了。 把浴巾拿来。
来抱抱啊！
Actually, the bath itself doesn't take very long. The part that takes the most time is applying the moisturizing cream afterward, because he's allergic to cow's milk and has eczema. Good moisturizing is essential to help relieve the symptoms. Alright, that's it for today's video. I need to take a shower and get some rest too. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.